Hi, this is Michael Green. I'm just going to show you a little plugin I wrote for motion graphics to help out. One of the things you might want to do in motion graphics is make a lot of polygons with images on them. So I wrote a little plugin called Images to Planes, MD. And then when you open it up, you can see it lists all the sort of images in the scene, and you can select from them. You can select all images, you can invert the selection, so you can select just a few of them, and so on. This allows you to create a plane in a particular direction. I usually use the plus Z because when you target something, it points the plus Z axis at whatever it is you're targeting. You've got scaling types, so obviously with different images you might have you might want to keep them all the same height but have them vary in different widths. So you've got fit width, if you want to just fit the width of each image to a certain width, fit each image to a certain height but keep the width the same. The largest, so whichever is the largest out of the width or the height, will be used by the size. Height and width, we'll try and fit both or stretch them both. And then pixels per meter, so the larger an image is, the larger it will appear when it's made into a plane. So most of the times you'll want something like fit width or fit height, so that you can keep them a constant width, for example. So obviously when you're using height and width, then that's when height comes into it. And this is usually the size is usually used for everything else, because you only need one value to sort of limit it. You got the choice of where the pivot should be, or where the center of the plane should be. So it could either be at 0, 0, or at the base, so you have the base of the object, the base of the plane on the 0 line, the 0 Y line. That's useful for if you're putting a lot of trees onto planes, for example, and then you want them to be sort of targeting the camera, so it looks like you've got a complete forest. So if you've got, say, 20 trees you want to put on planes, you can do that. If you're doing motion graphics, you very often want to make a caption for each image, and it will use the name of each image as that caption, and you put it in a particular font that you select. So you've got Aroni, whatever font you have in your thing. I'll go with Arial. Choose your font size. So again, you can choose whether to fit the width to your font size, so make it 1 meter wide, for example, but however high it needs to be to fit. Fit height, fit the largest, height and width, and then pixels per meter again. You've got your standard controls for beveling your captions, so they can be a bit nicer, and you've got your how many segments they're supposed to be in, or you can choose a separate surface for each caption. So if we use those, just the standard settings, say, go OK. You can see it took a little while for it to go through and do everything. But what we have is your image plastered on a plane at the center, and then in the following layer you got your name of your picture just after. So then you can use that for your motion graphics in whatever way you feel like. So if we look at another image, this has got a slightly different height, but we use the width fit function, so it's got the same width as the other one. And similarly, let's find a nice varied image. There we go. So this one's got the same width as one of the previous images, but it's got a different height because the aspect ratio of the image is different. And there you go.